everybody, welcome back to TAZS Wig Closet at Wig Studio One, here to empower and inspire your wig journey. Today we're going to take a look at a new Jon Renau style for spring 2022. We're going to get the full scoop on a new style called Alanna. We're going to unbox it. You'll see it for the first time right along with me. Coming up. I'm working on filming a lot of different reviews today, and my natural hair is just a disaster from changing in and out of wigs all morning. So I decided to put on the Jon Renau's Julienne in Venice Blonde, which is 22F16S8. So this is also a nice curly style by Jon Renau, and I feel like this one is just a nice, safe, soft curl. This one, however, the Alanna, is going to be more adventurous. This is a first for Jon Renau. This is a completely curly style where that curl looks like it goes right up to the root. I'm expecting it to be abundantly curly, big, round, full, voluminous, the works. So let's get started. Alanna in Palm Springs Blonde, FS 17101 S18. One of my favorite blondes in the California Blondes collection. This wig was sent to me by Wig Studio One for this review today, so we could test drive it before you buy it. With curly styles, you just never know. We're gonna bring this one to life. You can find this at Wig Studio One. If you drop below this video, I will attach a link directly to this style. If you click on that link, you can explore the pricing and all of the colors and order this wig style if you wish. We invite you to shop at Wig Studio One. If you have any questions for us, please reach out to support@wigstudio1.com. So let's get started. Typical Jon Renau box, their smart lace box. So Alanna, I think, has a lace front and a left monofilament side part, if I'm not mistaken. All hand-tied monofilament features on this. Here it is in the box. Wow, that just looks like a bowl of spaghetti, doesn't it? There's a lot of noodle-like curl on this one. So let's take her out and take a look. Little care pamphlet inside. Wow. Now the nets really come in handy with the curly styles. The nets kind of keep that the curls in a scrunched pattern so that during shipping they don't loosen up or get any cold set issues. Nets are a real must with curly styles just to hold the shape of the curl. Now this one is not a heat-friendly style. This is a regular synthetic style. There are 5 new releases by Jon Renau this season, and one of them, I think it's called Rita. Yes, Rita. It's a short little kind of a cropped curly style, and it is heat-friendly. So one of the 5 are heat-friendly. This one is not. Okay, checking out the tag. Awesome. Wow, look at that. Just really tight ringlets everywhere. All right, so let's examine the cap before we start to try it on. Let me take a moment here first. Okay. All right, so there's your smart lace front. Now that does run temple to temple, but it does not extend back into the ear tab. And then there's, it runs seamlessly into a left monofilament part, but you can see how short it stops from the crown. It only goes about halfway back, so it's a bit of a stunted monofilament part there. I rather like it when they take them all the way back, just because it gives me a little bit of a more natural look there at the crown area, but we shall see. There's a closed velvet ear tab. I feel the stays in there, so it has some wire stays. And then a felted extended nape with the Velcro style adjusters. And then we have open wefts on the top, sides, and back. Okay, everything seems to look really good here. And I'm going to go ahead and untie this tag so we can get it tried on. So what I'm going to do is try this on first. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to shake it out. I'm not going to make adjustments. I'll give you an immediate feedback on the fit of this cap. And then just remember that my circumference is 21 1/4, which is more petite average. Okay. All right, off with the beautiful Julianne. Oh, you know what? It's just darling. If you love curl, you're gonna love this right out of the box. I mean, look at all this springy, bouncy, fully formed, abundant ringlets here. Wow. Okay, that's hard to take my eyes off of that. So let me tell you about the fit. All right, so I didn't make any adjustments. I applied it. It fits actually pretty good, maybe just slightly loose. I am going to have to make an adjustment so that it doesn't roll around on my head during the review. But this tells me that it's pretty much perfectly average. Now, that's not accounting for some of the variances that we can see among the same style, just different pieces. But based on this piece, it seems perfectly average, a typical Jon Renau fit. The curl, perfectly intact. We've got a little bit of a zigzag pattern there at the parting space. So it's time to make the adjustment. So it's not doing me any good to put on a different wig for this because you're going to see me bring this to life. So I'm going to go ahead and make that adjustment. And then I'll let you see here how far I've cinched that in. And let's go ahead and try it on again and see if it is a little more secure for me. Yes, it's perfect now, just perfect. In terms of being secure, I don't notice any baggy cap at all. This is a really nice fitting Jon Renau. This is quite a relief because that last batch of styles they came out with in fall of 2021 seemed really, really large on me. So this one is a little more average. Okay, so what do? We shake it, right? I'm just going to give it some really good vigorous shakes, but at the same time, I'm going to use my hands to pull gently the fiber away from the cap. This just loosens it up, sets free the natural movement. Now I want to be careful though, not to disrupt this curl too much. Curl like this you can customize this curl. I would recommend that you not brush it out completely. I think that would probably be a mess. But I think you can loosen it up some. I kind of like mine in a tighter, more defined curl pattern, so I don't want to be too aggressive when I'm pulling at the fiber. Oh my goodness, just beautiful, almost like just the perfect natural curl. All right, so I have a feeling that if I go any further with loosening this, that I'm going to end up with a lot of frizz, which does happen on a curly style. You get one or two little fibers that come out of that curl pattern and they just want to fly away and cause a frizzy look, a flyaway look. And that's not what I'm going for here. Okay. Now I do want to work on that curl or that parting space just a little because, you know, I'm just not a fan of the zigzag part. That just is not how I like to wear it. In deciding what I want to use to unweave this, I am going to just use my hands for now because a brush again would probably cause some frizziness. We can unweave this, but what you will find that when you do unweave a part like this right out of the box, it may take a little bit of training because these fibers that I'm unweaving and pulling to the other side to make it a straighter part, they kind of want to bounce back. There's a lot of resistance there, which may cause some extra volume that you don't want. So really, you just have to train it. You can use some water. You can use the heat from your hand when you put it on. We'll do some of that here. but I just unraveled it just a little. And again, it's really short, so it didn't take much. And I don't think that's going to be such a problem on this style just because it is curly. It has a lot of volume anyway. So a little bit of profile on top will help balance this style. We'll find out. Okay, let's try it on again. Okay, fear not. Fear not. Be fierce and bold, but still make it yours. Okay. Oh my gosh. What curl? While I'm up here, let's take a look at this lace front. Again, temple to temple, but it does not extend. It's hard for me to see detail in the camera. It appears as though the knots are fairly fine. And the root is more of a light brown, so it does blend a little easier without making a knotty effect at the lace front, okay? And then you've got the mono, and we can work on that a little bit more, but it ends about right here, okay. Everything into place. I am super happy they brought this out in the spring. I wore a little bit of a spring summery top, even though it's supposed to snow this weekend. It just gets me in the mood for spring. What a cute little bouncy do. So I just continue to work on it. So basically, and I always say this, and I have a complete curly series out there where you can see how to work with your curl, the different kinds of curl. It's a 3-part series. I'll be sure to link it below in the description. I think it's really a good series to watch if you're considering curl on a wig. So I always say that if you can get the pieces to work around the face, the rest of it will just work. And so it is already parted for us here, so we don't have to find the best parting option. Typically, they'll arrange that part around that left mono in a way that's most flattering. On this right side, I think I just want to stretch that curl a little bit just with the heat of my hand and mold that around the face. Just stretch it, make it a little more loose around the face. Yay. Curls make me smile. I've said it before, but I cannot be in a bad mood when I wear curls like this. Oh my gosh. It's just so bright and cheery and sunny. So I think that ultimately it gives me a little better look around the face when I can stretch it out just a little. Now there's no natural contour or anything. I don't think I'll be using this in an up and over kind of do. Okay, so let's take a look at the rest. It's big, but it's supposed to be big. It's supposed to be bouncy and fresh and fun. If you have hair like this naturally, God bless you, because you've probably spent your whole life trying to iron it and flat iron it and make it straight. Just go with it, girls. Go with it, embrace it. I'm so happy that we have these options. Okay, before I get into the specs, let's just cover this color real quick, this Palm Springs blonde. I think you've all seen this color. It's a mix of some lighter and some medium to dark ash blonde, and then it has a lot of white highlights that have been toned with a violet toner. Sometimes you can catch a little glimpse of lavender or violet. I don't sense that here, but it is a light, bright, cool color. And that rooting is a light brown or a dark blonde, however you're seeing that. But it does blend nicely. I really love the root typically on this color. You can always see variables from piece to piece of the same color. So let's talk about the specs. Now that front is supposed to be 8.5. It coils up to about 4.5 though. You can see that easily here. And if they're taking a measurement a little farther down, then that truly is probably 8.5 right here. Because I'm 6.5 from hairline to chin, and that carries down about 2 inches below my chin. Overall, in its curl pattern, I'm gonna say 11 to 12 inches. You can customize that a little bit, like I say, with just stretching that curl out, making it a little more loose. I think you can really customize it. But like I said, I would warn you against taking a brush, even a comb. If you start here and pull it all the way down, you're gonna end up with a mess. So just pick and fluff these curls. Okay, so it weighs about 3.9 ounces. So it feels really lightweight on my head, despite the fact that it does have a little bit of a heavier density. A lot of curly styles, you will find that there's a bit of a heavier density. Now, I'm not gonna call it a heavy density. It's, let me just say, a average going heavy, because there is a lot of fiber here. But in its curl pattern, it just seems so light and bouncy. And the fact that the cap fits me really well, that always makes a difference in how light it feels on my head. So permatease, you are gonna find permatease on this style all around this cap. That's just to help hold this style up and keep the curls in their pattern, sustain the volume. It will settle some. I know this from experience with curly styles like this, it does settle. So if you're really intimidated right out of the box and you try soaking it and then allowing it to dry, let it hang on a wig stand for a few days and try again. It will loosen up some. Me, I really don't want it to loosen up. So let's talk about the texture of this fiber just a moment. This is a more coarse, dry type texture. You find this a lot though when we're looking at a curly wig. It's very hard for the curls to stay really tight without some sort of coarseness to the texture. So it's a medium to thick denier, and the texture is a drier, coarser type. So let's talk about similar styles. Okay, so I'm gonna go from memory here, but this really reminds me of the Jamila Plus by Ellen Villa. Ellen Villa is no stranger to curl like this. In fact, there's also the disco style by Ellen Villa that this really reminds me of as well. So a cross between disco and Jamila Plus. If you like those styles, I think you'll really enjoy this one. If you're looking more for an affordable option with a similar look, you might look at Kenya by Envy. Kenya is abundantly curly like this, but just has an open cap. So you'll get the look without the price tag. Wig Pro has one that I just reviewed by Wig Pro, and it's really curly like this too. Also a very affordable option. It's called Angelina. So be sure to catch the review on that one. And then finally, it reminds me of Gabor's Curl Appeal. Definitely with all of this really intact curl. I think the curls are a little bit tighter and smaller than the Curl Appeal, but a very, very similar look. So if you're just looking at trying curl, just know that this will loosen up, and there's a lot you can do in styling to make it yours so that you can gradually get used to the look and embrace it. Because if you learn to love curl, there's just nothing as fun and whimsical as a beautiful curly wig like this. You saw me bring this right out of the box, right? All I did was shake it, kind of swirl around. That's all I've done. I tried to unweave the part a little bit. I can't even tell in the camera if it was successful. I may still have to work on that. But this is what it looks like, guys. I do believe it will settle some, but it's just beautiful right out of the box. And I really love that because a lot of times curly styles do take some work. And this one looks gorgeous, just like the pictures right out of the box. So I love that. All right, let's try with glasses. Yeah, fine, not too bad. So depending on the thickness of your glasses arms, it should rest nicely between the ear and the ear tab. Secure, cute. So if you're a full-time glasses wearer, you can get your little fun glasses on with this style and it will be adorable. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you again real soon on TAZS Wig Closet at Wig Studio 1.